talk about this massive piece of movie news, guys, right? This is the first topic that I'm covering today, and this is huge news, massive news. There's been a lot of reports recently. I think it was yesterday, actually. It was reported that Sony Pictures, obviously, who own the cinematic film rights to the character of Spider-Man, obviously they've got this shared deal at the moment with Marvel Studios, but they are the ones that hold the sole rights for the character. So any kind of film away from the main MCU, that is done by Sony, and then, you know, the MCU kind of take over from there when he's in the MCU films. But it's been reported, and you can tell by the title of this video, that according to reports, now this isn't confirmed as well, I have to state that and really reiterate that fact. This is not confirmed. This is a report, right? So it's more than a rumour, it's more than hearsay. This is a report, right? This has been reported by all the major movie news outlets out there. So this is not just something that's been on like CosmicSpidermanNews.com, right? This is an established report. And that is that Sony Pictures are looking to develop Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 starring Tobey Maguire. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. This, right, will this happen? Right, let's start off with that first before we talk about anything else. Will this actually happen? I'm 50-50 on this, because let's just get this straight, right? This would be huge if this happened. But there is a lot of reasons why this might not happen. Right? There's a lot of reasons to suspect this might not happen. It might happen. There's a lot of reasons to suspect that, right? But there is a lot of things going for this report that does make sense in a way. Right? We have Sam Raimi, the director of the original Spider-Man trilogy. Hang on, let me just sort my audio out, guys. I'm getting echo. Okay, can you guys still hear me if I do that? I don't know if you guys can still hear me. Sorry, I was having really bad echo in my headphones. It was really distracting, but I don't know if that's sorted now. But anyway, let's get back on Spider-Man. Right. Yes, the director Sam Raimi, who obviously directed the original Spider-Man trilogy, one of the greatest, you know, big blockbuster film series of all time, in my opinion. A massive part of my childhood, really established the modern superhero film, what the modern superhero film would be and is today. He is actually directing a film in the MCU. So he's back doing the comic book genre, back doing the superhero films. And that is with Sam Raimi doing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which I think is due to come out next year. I think it's next year, like early next year. So that's not too far away at all. So obviously you have the original director of the Spider-Man series, and also we have the whole multiverse aspect in the new Spider-Man film as well. Spider-Man No Way Home. There we go. Spider-Man No Way Home is going to deal with, it seems like, obviously this is just judging by the casting news, it looks like this is going to deal with the multiverse. It does seem like that. This is by the fact that we're having Alfred Molina come back to play Dr. Otto Octavius, and we're also getting Jamie Foxx coming back from the Amazing Spider-Man series playing Electro. So we have Molina coming back. We have Jamie Foxx coming back. There's reports that we're going to see Emma Stone and Kirsten Dunst come back. There's reports we're going to see Willem Dafoe come back as the Green Goblin and Thomas Hayden Church come back as Sandman. And so there's so many rumours going around about this upcoming Spider-Man film. But it's very clear, because of the confirmed castings of Molina and Fox, that they are going to kind of delve into the possibility of the multiverse. At least it's going to go into that, right? At least it will go into the possibility of the multiverse. So, due to these rumours, it's been, really, really pushed that we're going to see Maguire and Garfield in this film, the upcoming Spider-Man film. And it makes sense. It does make sense for many reasons, because obviously we're getting the old characters back from their respective franchises. If we're going to see this Spider-Man multiverse, the Spider-Verse in live action, right? Is that what we're going to see? It makes sense to have Maguire and Garfield there. So, to hear that Sony are actually considering, now this is just considering. This isn't advanced talks. There's no pre-production. There's not a script or anything like that, right? I think just to make that clear, that's not what's going on here. This is just reports and in the early stages of development. I've seen Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. Guys, I feel like crying. You have no idea. One of my most anticipated films that I never got to see of all time was Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. Right? It was meant to come out in, I think, May 2011. It was meant to deal with... we were always going to have Maguire come back. We was going to have Kirsten Dunst come back. We was going to have some villains. We was going to have John Malkovich as the Vulture. We was going to have Bruce Campbell appear as Mysterio. We was going to get all these things happening. And it never happened because Sam Raimi had such a bad experience working on Spider-Man 3. He felt he couldn't get the Spider-Man 4 script the way he wanted it. And the two parted ways. Sony was already developing a Spider-Man reboot anyway. So the two parted ways, and we never got the Spider-Man 4 film that we all wanted. But it seems like we're actually going to get that. It actually seems like that could happen. Now, like I said, I'm 50-50 on this. Do I think this will happen? Maybe. It maybe might happen. And the reasons are because the MCU is dealing with the multiverse. We've getting Melina back, who is from Maguire's Spider-Man series and from, Raimi's Spider-Man series from the early 2000s. He's coming back, so it kind of makes sense that we will get Maguire come back as Peter Parker. Will they do a Spider-Man 4? I don't know, guy. I honestly, this is crazy. If this happens, this has got to be one of the biggest things ever to happen in the world of film. As far as just a surprise, right? As something that we never thought would happen. Something that we would never expect to happen. If this happens, it will be crazy. It will literally blow the internet up if this happens, right? And I myself will blow up as a human being. I will literally explode. If this happens, I will literally jump off my balcony there. I will jump off because I will be so excited. Like I said, I love the original Spider-Man series, right? Now, there are a few things going against this, right? It's not, like I said, it's not confirmed that Tobey Maguire is even going to be in the new Spider-Man film. It's not even confirmed that that's going to happen yet. At the moment, it's just rumours and speculation due to the other pieces of casting news that we have had for Spider-Man No Way Home. We kind of put two and two together, and it makes sense that they'll do that. But that's not been confirmed yet. Tobey Maguire has not been confirmed for Spider-Man No Way Home. He's not been confirmed for that. So that's a big point there, right? It's not like he's been confirmed. We know he's going to be in the film. Then we'd have more of an expectation for this Spider-Man 4 to happen. But that's not happened yet. We don't know if he actually is in this yet. And another thing kind of going against the possibility this might happen is that Tobey Maguire isn't acting anymore. Right? Tobey Maguire has been, I think his last film that he was acting as part of the cast, like an actor, was 2014 or 2015. He was in some biographical drama. I can't remember the name of the film, but he was in like a drama. And we haven't seen him since. As far as an actor goes, we haven't seen Tobey Maguire on the big screen since. However, he's been very involved in producing films, right? He's produced many films in that time, but he's kind of gone more behind the camera than staying in front of it. So that obviously asks a lot of questions that, okay, we're getting all these old characters come back from different universes, Will we see Tobey Maguire actually come back to acting? because he doesn't act anymore. He doesn't act anymore. Tobey Maguire hasn't acted for years. So, is it one of these things where would he come back to do a Spider-Man 4? Is he even going to come back to do Spider-Man Far From... I keep saying Far From Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. Will he even come back to do that? Will he even come back to do that? Because I personally don't know. It's tough to say, right? Maguire's always been very praising of his time in the role of Spider-Man, right? He's always been very positive, you know. He's always said how much he's loved playing the character, and you know he enjoyed his time doing it, right? Sam Raimi, as we all know, is a massive Spider-Man fan. He grew up as a big Spider-Man fan. He did that original trilogy that a lot of people, myself included, really love, despite the flaws in it and despite some things in it. I do love that original trilogy. Even the third film has a special place for me. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Will this happen? I don't know. But I hope it happens. If this ends up happening, I don't think we're going to know properly until we get the new Spider-Man film. Until we get Spider-Man No Way Home, we will not know, I don't think. I don't think we'll know this. We know that Sony are having the conversation. We know that as a fact. We know Sony are having the conversation about doing this Spider-Man 4, doing this continuity thing with the original Spider-Man films. We know that they're having that talk. So that's a discussion that they're having. And also, if you remember, it was the Sony leaks, right? Remember those leaks a few years ago with that James Franco, Seth Rogen film, The Interview, and all those Sony leaks came out. And one of the things in those leaks, they were going to do a Spider-Man like reboot or a continuation of the original series with Tobey Maguire coming back. That was one of the ideas that they had. So this is something that Sony have had in their mind for a while. This is something they've had in their mind for a while. I think if you look at the success of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the animated film that came out a few years ago, that had a lot of people talking, a lot of people loved that film, myself included. That film set a lot of expectations, and I think now we're going into the more different timelines, alternate realities, the multiverse. That kind of is coming into the MCU. We know that for a fact, obviously, with Doctor Strange. WandaVision touched on that a little bit, looked at that a little bit. We know we're getting something kind of like that in the new Spider-Man film. We're getting, you know, in the Loki series, they're going to be dealing with alternate realities and stuff. So we know that that's going to happen. So it makes sense for this to happen, right? With Maguire coming back. Raimi's already in the MCU because he's doing Doctor Strange. It makes sense. So, in closing on this particular topic, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this will happen? Because for me, like I said, I'm 50-50. And I don't think we will know until we get Spider-Man No Way Home at the end of this year. So we're not going to know until Christmas time, I don't think. When this new Spider-Man film comes out at Christmas, then we'll know more. But for now, at this particular moment in time, I can't say yes or no. There's reasons for both. I think it could happen, but then there are reasons to believe that it won't happen. But my God, I hope it happens. If this happens, trust me, you will see me cry on stream. You will see me cry live on this podcast if this happens. Right, okay, we're going to go on to the second...